Hi there. Welcome to Mirror Reflection. So good, so good. Speaking from Tempe, Arizona. Yeah, so good. I'll be reading from this glorious glory. The Mirror Study Bible, guys. So good. The Romance of the Ages by Francois Toit. It is such an honor, a privilege to just read this out loud. This is something that's been on my heart for a while. We're just gonna dive right in. We're gonna skip understanding the Bible, why the Mirror translation, all that stuff. Go get it for yourself and you can read it. I'm diving right into the introduction to John, the book of John. You ready? Get comfy. Actually, you know what? Let me just pray before we jump. God, I just thank you for your presence. Thank you that we're aware of your goodness, your faithfulness. Thank you that we're aware of your love. God, we just open our hearts today to just receive from you. We just receive your love today, God, in new ways, God, new encounters. Refresh our minds, refresh our bodies. Woo! Yes! All right. Introduction to John. 60 years after he last saw Jesus in the flesh, John, now in his 90s, reflects on the mystery that was revealed, which transformed his life from an illiterate fisherman to a saint. He spent most of the latter part of his life, about 30 years, living in Asia Minor, and more specifically at Ephesus. Much of Paul's emphasis in teaching therefore reflects in John's writing. This he did both from Ephesus as well as from the Isle of Patmos, where he spent some years in exile. None of the other disciples better captured the conclusion of the mission of Christ than John. He has no desire to outwit the others in giving an even more accurate historic account of Christ. The life that was manifest within his sacred gaze and now tangible embrace is a fellowship of the highest order. He must extend this reality to his immediate audience as well as the next generations. I am writing this to complete your joy. Unlike Matthew and Luke, who wrote 30 years prior to him, John did not bother to locate Jesus in the setting of his natural lineage. Instead, he declares, "In the beginning was the Word. Before history was ever recorded, the Word was." Mankind pre-existed in the logic of God. He understands that the Word was both the eternal source and destiny of all things, and that nothing could ever reduce or confine the Word to an isolated island experience. Neither could the Word be trapped in human doctrine or tradition. No inferior translation or interpretation could compromise God's original intent. The authentic integrity of God's thought would forever be preserved and celebrated in the Incarnation. Human life would be the uninterrupted future of the Word. Notice how often John uses the word egeneto from genomai, meaning birth or origin in the first chapter. In the beginning was a Word, and the Word was face to face towards God, and the Word was God. All things came into being through him, and nothing has any authentic existence outside of their origin in him. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shone in the darkness, and the darkness could not comprehend it. The true light that enlightens everyone has come into the world. The world was made through him, yet the world knew him not. He came to his own, and his own received him not. But in everyone who by faith comprehends him to be their true origin, in them he sanctions the integrity of their sonship. The fact that they already are his own, born from above, they have their beginning and their being in him. Jesus has come to reveal mankind's true sonship. He vindicated our origin and design. And the Word became flesh, and now tabernacles in us. Not amongst us, as many translations would suggest, in John 1:1-14. 1 John 2:7, My beloved family, I know that the words I write to you here may not immediately remind you of the precepts of Moses. This does not mean that it is a new doctrine. It is the ancient conversation that echoes God's voice prophetically. It is indeed the very conclusion of the word which you have heard from the beginning. And yet it is a glorious new message that I am writing to you. You may ask, how can that which is old also be new? Herein is a secret of its newness. Whatever is true of Jesus is equally true of you. The days of the dominance of darkness as a reference to human life are over. The true light surely shines with bold certainty and illuminates your life as it is unveiled in Christ. As he is, so are we in this world. In him we discover our genesis in God, beyond our natural conception. This is not about our blood lineage or whether we were wanted or unwanted child. This is about our God-begottenness. We are his dream come true. We are his dream come true. You are God's wildest dream come true. Ah! So good. In him we discover our genesis in God, beyond our natural conception. This is not about our blood lineage or whether we were wanted or... Oh, I totally read that already. Let me read it again. We are his dream come true. Just receive that. We are his dream come true. And not the invention of our parents. We are indeed the greatest idea that God has ever had. God said to Jeremiah, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. The eternal, invisible Word, the Spirit thought of God's face-to-face union, became flesh. James says, of his own will, he brought us forth by the word of truth. If anyone hears this word, he sees the face of his birth as in a mirror. Now we may know, even as we have always been known. God never compromised his original thought. The Word became flesh and took up residence in us, and we gazed with wonder and amazement upon the mystery of our inclusion in him. We saw his glory, the glory as of the original, authentic begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. He is the revelation of our completeness. He is the revelation of our completeness. So good. Of his fullness have we all received grace beyond grace. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. He who is in the bosom of the Father, the only begotten of the Father, he is our guide who accurately declares and interprets the invisible God within us. The Logos is the source. Everything commences in him. The initial reports concerning him that have reached our ears, and which we indeed bore witness to with our own eyes, to the point that we became irresistibly attracted, now captivates our gaze. In him, we witness tangible life in its most articulate form. The same life that was face to face with the Father from the beginning has now dawned on us. The infinite life of the Father became visible before our eyes in a human person. In the beginning was the Word, Eimi, timeless existence, I am. The preposition pros says so much more than with. It suggests towards, face to face. Suddenly, the invisible, eternal Word takes on visible form, the incarnation, in him and now confirmed in us. The most accurate, tangible display of God's eternal thought finds expression in human life. The Word became a human being. We are his address. He resides in us. He captivates our gaze. The glory we see there is not a religious replica. He is the authentic begotten Son. The glory that Adam lost sight of is now fully unveiled. Only grace can communicate truth in such complete context. Until this moment, God remained invisible to mankind. Now the authentic begotten Son, the blueprint of mankind's design, who represents the innermost being of God, the Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, brings him into full view. He is the official authority qualified to announce God. He is our guide who accurately declares and interprets the invisible God within us. We include you in this conversation. You are the immediate audience of the logic of God. This is the Word that always was. We saw him incarnate and witnessed his language as defining our lives. In the incarnation, Jesus includes mankind in the eternal friendship of the Father and the Son. This life now finds expression in an unreserved union. We do not invent fellowship. We are invited into the fellowship of the Father and the Son. What we enjoy equally belongs to you. I am writing this for your reference so that joy may be yours in its most complete measure. In all these years since the ascension of Jesus, John, now 90 years old, continues to enjoy unhindered friendship with God and desires to extend this same fellowship to everyone through this writing. My conversation with you flows from the same source, which eliminates this fellowship of union with the Father and the Son. This, then, is the essence of the message. God is radiant light, and in him there exists not even a trace of obscurity or darkness at all. Without exception, God's gifts are only good. Their perfection cannot be improved upon. They come from above, where we originate from, proceeding like light rays from the source, the Father of lights, with whom there is no distortion or even a shadow of shifting to obstruct or intercept the light. No hint of a hidden agenda. The word anuthin means from above. Mankind is not the product of their mother's womb. Man began in God. Don't be so surprised when I say to you, you couldn't get here in the flesh unless you got here from above. These are the ones who discover their genesis in God beyond their natural conception. This is not about our blood lineage or whether we were wanted or an unwanted child. This is about our God begottenness. We are his dream come true. We are not the invention of our parents. You are the greatest idea God has ever had. No one can fully engage in heaven's perspective unless one's heavenly origin is realized. The Son of Man declares mankind's co-genesis from above. Another pivotal reference John records is when Jesus defended his message when he declared, to the disgust of the religious leaders, "My Father and I are one." Jesus then quoted Psalm 82:6, "I say you are gods." sons of the Most High, all of you. In John 14:20, Jesus declares the conclusion of his mission, where in his death and resurrection, every possible definition of separation will be canceled. In that day, you will know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you. It is not our knowing that positions Jesus in the Father or us in them. Our knowing simply awakens us to the reality of our redeemed union. That is so good writing in here. Our knowing simply awakens us to the reality of our redeemed union. That is the introduction to John. I'm really excited to dive into this chapter. If some of you want to follow, go get your, if you haven't already, go get your Mere Study Bible. Come study with me. Hey! I'll be titling these videos Mere Reflection. We're just gonna reflect in the mirror who we are. So good, so good. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, just marinate for a little bit. Marinate. Or just go rewind and go re-listen and just marinate. And whatever jumps out at you, write it down. Or if you have the Mere Study Bible, underline it. Feel free to just write all over it. It's study. Marinate, soak in it, wake up to it. Wake up to what's already in you. Wake up to the goodness that's within you already. We're not trying to be good and do all these good works. No, out of the abundance of who we are, do we act. Crazy. So good. Hi, Lynn. Wake up to who you are. Wake up to who you already are in Him. You are so loved. You are so accepted. Woo, 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 woo. Just relax, just like every muscle, just loosen up, Yeah, let the stress go. That's not yours to hold on to. If you find you're stressed, recognize that and let it go. We are created out of love. We are created in the image of love. If you feel fear, doubt, worry, recognize that and let it go. You've agreed with stupid lies, let go of it. And embrace what God says about you. You are His beloved. You are His beloved. There's so much glory on your life. A crown on your head. You are royalty. You are born to reign in life. You are born to reign in life. Every area of life. abundance, abundance in every area. And you are more than enough. You are more than enough. Stop worrying and let go. You keep searching. But what you've been searching for has been here the whole time. Look within. You are made in the image and likeness of love. When you see Jesus, you see the Father. What do you see when you look into a mirror? If it doesn't encourage you, empower you, lift you up, when you look in the mirror and you see yourself, who do you see? You are made in the image and likeness of love. That's who you are. Just be at peace. I speak peace to all who are listening. Peace. Peace on your mind. Peace in all situations, circumstances, whatever. And just God just says, drink in my love as a reminder. We're already fully tanked full of God. Like, what? But it's just for fun. Just drinking His love. Just breathe in the love of God. I just speak. You're healed. You're healed. Some of you have issues in your body. You are healed. That's no longer an issue. As you breathe, just let the awareness of your entire being it's filled with love. Every cell vibrates with heaven's frequency. Yes, yes, yes. Seek first the kingdom, and all things will be added. Seek first the kingdom, and all things will be added. Oh my gosh. Oh. You have creative minds. You have creative minds. You are not stuck. Be free. You are free. You are free. You are free. You are free. I just speak. You are free. You are free. You are free. You're not stuck where you're at. You're free. You're free. You're free. You're free. Whoa, you're free from the opinions of man. Just see that being broken off someone. You're free. We're not trying to manage sin. Wake up to who you are. Instead of being sin conscious, be son conscious. Stop trying to manage your crap and wake up to who you are. Let go of bitterness, unforgiveness, disappointments. Let it all go. Be free. It's been weighing you down for so long. Let go, forgive, and move on. Be free. There's so much to enjoy. There's so much to discover. There's so much life and beauty that surrounds you. You are chosen. You are chosen. He says, I am yours and you are mine. You are chosen to be mine. You are my beloved. Open up your heart to receive my love for you. Whoa! You can't screw this up! Woo! Someone needed to hear that. You can't screw it up. I don't care what your beliefs or your backgrounds come from. This is my reality. You can choose to believe it if you want. Woo! You can't screw it up. You can't screw it up. Well, get wrecked in his love. Ooey gooey, juicy, divine love. Remember who you are.